Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today you're gonna listen to like a little rant from me about the 5 reasons why Call of Duty will never be an esport. Let's first have like a flashback back to 2009, the year where Modern Warfare 2 released. I think we can all remember the days where like we all had those sniper compilations. You were drinking energy, Monster Energy or something alike, and it was a crazy time. YouTube was just being a thing. Twitch wasn't even there yet, I guess, and a lot of things were happening like in the scene. Esports was growing. I mean, there always has been esports, but esports was really growing in the time of Modern Warfare 2. A lot of things happening between FaZe and Optic. Maybe you were there, or you've seen the MLG compilations, because it's also a part of Modern Warfare 2 history. But yeah, this is also a little part of the Call of Duty history. I mean, we've grown a lot. I mean, we're 2018 yet, 9 years after the release of Modern Warfare 2, and currently we are dealing with Call of Duty 15. And it also brings me to my first point, why Call of Duty will never be an esports title. Just look at it. Activision releases a game every single year. Not by the same studio every year, but they still release a game every year. And it's not made by the same studio, so it also feels a bit different every year. One year they use Treyarch, the other year they use like Infinity Ward, and they do it a little bit differently. They also use like a little different engine, and the gameplay is just different a little bit. And that means if you are a pro player in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, or you name it, or maybe Black Ops 4 right now, doesn't mean you're directly a good player in the new Call of Duty. It changes every single year. And look at other esports titles like Overwatch or Counter-Strike or even Rocket League. They never ever had like a Rocket League 2 or an Overwatch 2. They just don't do it. They keep one game, grow the user base, grow the player base, grow the esports player base, and they just become an esport. They don't push it, they become an esports. It's like maybe like a community effort, because the game is there for a long time. Maybe hard to imagine, there's only 1 or 2 good games which release every year who have become esports titles, and those are like real sports. Look at FIFA or Madden. Those games release every year, and I mean, yeah, they become esports because they look like in a real sport, and they update the players every year. I mean, you can't keep Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid in 2019, of course. But well, that's not really the point right now. Let's get back to another point why Call of Duty will never be an esports title. And number 2 is Overwatch, actually. I have already called Overwatch. They won't release an Overwatch 2, or at least not in the near future. But Overwatch is a title from Blizzard Activision. Blizzard Activision, they merged a while ago, and it's actually one big company. And Blizzard is maybe more known from World of War, well, no, not World of War, World of Warcraft, and Activision more from the Call of Duty and other stuff they released. Let's get back to Overwatch. Why Overwatch is so important for Call of Duty never becoming an esport. Call of Duty has to compete with Overwatch on the esports scene a little bit. Overwatch has maybe the well-known Overwatch League. Overwatch League with the logo, which looks a lot like the MBL logo, which is another discussion again. I'm straying from my path. But nevertheless, Overwatch gets a lot of money from Blizzard Activision just to pump the esports. I'm afraid when Activision would pump a lot of money in Call of Duty, and they do a little, not a lot, they do a little money for the tournaments and stuff, but they're pushing a lot of money in Overwatch, but they would compete with themselves if they start to do the same with Activision. And why would they do that? I mean, they have got a quite well esports community going for Overwatch, so they are actually quite happy with that. And maybe they could do with like a second esport title with Call of Duty, but I think it's a little bit like the same player base. They still use the same specialist system, like they all have the same abilities, their ults and stuff. So I think it's a little bit the same currently with Black Ops 4. So Overwatch is being pushed by Activision Blizzard. They had the eggs in one basket, and the basket is currently Overwatch. But that also gets me to like my third point, and there's also a different point. I don't think everybody will agree with me, but I think this is the honest truth about why it will never really become an esports title. It's point number 3, console focus. Currently, the Call of Duty World League, or short CWL, is being played on the PlayStation 4. Also, a lot of communities playing on the PlayStation 4. And also, all the community bonuses are there for PlayStation 4. I mean, you can play every game already update a week early from the other platforms like Xbox or PC. But esports, yeah. Is Counter-Strike played on PlayStation? No, I don't think so. Is PUBG played on PlayStation? No, I don't think so. Is Rainbow Six Siege played on PlayStation? Or Xbox? Or any console? Maybe the Switch even? No, I don't think so. Being a shooter mostly involves playing without aim lock or aim assist or anything, which is mostly used for console players. Not always for like the pro players, but the most casual players play with aim assist on their console. And I think that's a bit strange for an esports. I mean, esports players, I think, have to not be assisted by a computer, but have to use the skill themselves. They need to be the skill, not be like the man who can abuse the aim assist the most. I think that's also a big thing actually for, yeah, being not an esports title. They play in the PlayStation. Well, I think PC has the most potential for a real esport. But again, I think it's like they get money from Sony to be an esport on the PlayStation platform. They also played on Xbox not that long ago, and I think that was more or less to compete with Halo. But again, another topic I'm straying a lot of. But yeah, the console is not really the best. Brings me to my 4th point, history. Call of Duty has a long history, and I already told about the MLG, I told about the sniper compilations, but I haven't really talked about the negative parts of Call of Duty. I mean, it's all fun and giggles, you know, but look back at Infinite Warfare, Infinite Warfare, that is. I mean, I can't even remember. It has been the most disliked video on YouTube for like a video game in forever. And I think it still leaves like a bad taste in your mouth, you know? I think a lot of people don't really associate Call of Duty with esports. It's like a kiddo game. Not really the good players play Call of Duty. They play Battlefield, or they play Counter-Strike, or they play Rainbow Six Siege. Not really Call of Duty. It's still a kiddo game. When I think of Call of Duty, I think about 13-year-olds, energy drinking players who yell a lot in a microphone and start crying when I kill them and all. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit strange. And also, kill streaks is kind of strange thing for like a pro player scene. I mean, I think a lot of players have got the thing like, oh my god, I got a chopper on me again. How do I defend this? I can't defend myself. I maybe need to use an RPG or something. But I can't really defend myself against a strike team currently in Black Ops 4 or against like the dog. I don't think a lot of players really think about Call of Duty as being an esports. However, it kind of is. It kind of still is. And that brings me to my 5th point and also my last point. It's about the audience. Call of Duty, I already mentioned, has the CWL, the Call of Duty World League. Currently, when you watch on Twitch, still a lot of people are watching the CWL. I think most of the time, 10,000 of people are still watching CWL. But when you compare that with the main weeks of, like, for example, Counter-Strike, it's a low number. It's a real low number. Especially on Twitch and stuff. So then again, why is the audience so not there for CWL? I mean, there's prize money. There is actually a decent format. They try to minimize like the lucky stuff, you know. They want to focus on the player, what the players can do themselves, and they use cool formats like search and destroy and hardpoint for sometimes, and those are pretty decent actually for like a CWL setting, and even control and heist. Those really are, I think, fan favorites to watch in the future. But still, a lot of people aren't really watching, and I think this has to do with the console focus of the game. I'm not really willing to watch players on a PlayStation play the game. I want to see them use the mouse, keyboard. I don't know why, but it's a little feeling from me, and I think a lot of people actually agree with me on that. I don't really enjoy watching it. I think the way they move is strange. I think the way they behave is strange, but also I think not being as popular on the PC as on other platforms makes it a little harder for the real eSport fans to play. I think the most eSports fans are from the PC platform. They play League of Legends, they play other MOBAs, which are really only there for PC, and not only there for, how do you call it, for shooters like these. FIFA is actually an excellent esports title, but there isn't as much audience for it. Not really on pages like Twitch. I've seen the fair share of the TV stations, of the broadcast station on TV, who did really broadcast FIFA, and they've got decent numbers. But on Twitch, they are really there. I don't know why, but there isn't really much audience. And again, there is really possibility to grow in this scene. They used their own studio for Black Ops 4 just to make the game for PCs. They got their unlocked FPS, they got their unlocked pings, they got their own stuff. And I think there is still a lot of possibilities there to make it even better. Yeah. But I don't know, I don't think it is happening. But there are future possibilities, and I want to elaborate on that in a future video, but not right now. I think we need to be a bit negative about the current state of the game. It isn't that good for esports, just to be really honest with you guys. But again, it has potential. It really does have potential. I want to think about that in another video. So I hope you like this rant from me. I hope you also agree with me. But if you disagree with me, please let me know in the comments. I really want to know what you think about it. I think it is hot for Call of Duty becoming eSport, but maybe it isn't, and I haven't really thought about the things which are important. So again, let me know what you think about the video. Leave a like or dislike if you agree or disagree with me. And if you really like it and like the content like this, subscribe to the channel while you're at. So guys, again, thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow in another video. Bye guys.